Here we go. Can I find this thing? Okay. Now,
we saw
let me give some real. Again, if you don't follow this manosphere world, you might be lost. Give me 10 minutes. I'll address all this shit. So let me tell you what's going on. So this manosphere thing, which by the way, there's two individuals, a nigga named Abba and Preach, very incorrectly like placed me in it. Please, you individuals, don't you ever do that again. Little spankings and a lot of lashings for you Negroes, okay? Don't you ever call me a red pillar or a manosphere nigga. I'm none of those. Anyway, there is a whole world that revolves and deals with teaching men how to improve at life, but also how to get women. All right? Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, who's now deceased, have been an integral and main portions of it. And some people would also say Andrew Tate. I believe what's happening these days is that you're seeing some of the leaders, and Tate was pretty much kind of the leader for a second after Kevin Samuels died. They're elevating beyond some of these talking points, and you're seeing a lot of disruption in this space because these talking points are seen as very infantile, and they're seen as only really just made for incels. It's only made for guys who just cannot get laid. But if everybody knows, and maybe that was you at a point of your life where you couldn't get laid, after you start getting laid, maybe semi-frequently or frequently, you realize there's much more to life. You realize that dealing with women is not all about fucking. You realize that you need companionship, love. You start thinking about as the older you get, maybe family. These are all things that, you have to kind of take into account when you're trying to live a fulfilled life. Most of this manosphere shit is limited. They only tell you how to fuck bitches. That's it. I've always said the reason why I would never be associated with red pill or whatever this bullshit these niggas be talking about, and not necessarily at the dudes talking about it, but the ideology of it is that I wouldn't have any conversation with other men about just sleeping with women when that's not my problem, especially if it's devoid of love. Like, for example, like we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I can tell you, dealing with women, whether great decisions or bad decisions, a lot of it, the fact of being in a relationship or love or other things that are just nuanced, if we're not talking about that, there is no black and white way of how to deal with women. Only an idiot needs that. So don't call me no red pill or no manosphere type of nigga, because if we gonna talk about rules and never talk about, okay, well, other dynamics, we're not really analyzing the real picture. Anyway, what's actually happened is that the guys who have been trying to identify or did identify with this red pill manosphere movement, two in specific, Andrew Tate and Sneako, this is this guy right here, their message is getting a little bit off of the talking points, because this red pill ideology, if you study it too much, you become a rhetoric talking points person. You have a rhetoric or a response to everything people say. Well, why can the guy cheat but not the girl cheat? Well, men and women, they're not the same, man. By the way, hey, like you could say a million things. It's just talking points at that point, right? What those two guys have done is that they've elevated the meaning of what living a fulfilled life is to more than just being what people call a high-valued man. If you hear some of these guys, high-value man, if you want to get with a high-value man, and basically this entire thing with the red pill and the manosphere is basically ran among they try to convince other men, you need to get your value up to be high value, because when you are high value, you have this leverage and privilege. You can fuck all the bitches you want. You can cheat. You can do all that stuff. So that becomes the frame and the undertone of every topic. So when you're talking to women, you like for example, Fresh and Fit, they're talking to all these girls and they're all talking about, would you allow a high value man? They're not talking about no regular niggas. Now, granted, let's be honest. If you look at this panel, and there's probably like 20 or 12 girls that's sitting around this table, it's impossible that all of them are going to get a high value man. But the whole discussion about the manosphere and red pill only deals, and I've always said this, people keep associating money and wealth with high value, and I'm rich as shit. I've told people that high value man shit, most of y'all not gonna be rich like me. I'm sorry to tell y'all. So, like, I don't know why why the fuck are you studying for a test you would never have to take? I'm sorry to tell, that's just a reality of life. If you do the math, it's just like everybody just can't get to be some. If a high value man is a 1%, no matter how much the standards keep raising, it's always gonna be 1%. 1% is always gonna be 1%, no matter how high it gets. But of course, people are enamored by the lifestyles of other people. Okay, let me speed this up a little bit. Andrew Tate did something that was really amazing. After he started getting canceled, and people said that, well, your thoughts are misogynistic, he pivoted and he said, well, this manosphere red pill shit on a large scale. Remember I've always said that Fresh and Fit, if they get too big, it's going to be problematic. Yeah, it just is, because, like, the cancel culture wave will never accept your talking points. Andrew Tate got canceled for it. They called him misogynistic. He's bad for this. He said this about women. And then obviously they came in with he trafficked women. The way he pivoted from that, while still trying to keep the majority of his talking points, was going religious. He went to Islam. It's like, no, my views now is not just based in misogyny, as y'all want to call it. I'm going by the Islam faith, and essentially what they say back up what I say. Is given a couple of benefits. It's less easy to attack that. Now he could showcase a way of life, but here's slightly the downside. Your talking points can't just be about fucking women. So he's changed his talking points. If you listen to Andrew Tate, like in the last like 6-7 months, he's talking about building families. Andrew Tate doesn't even really talk about like, oh, this is how you fuck girls. That's how he started. He talks about living a fulfilling life, more to the effect that Islam actually encourages men to do. Okay. Now, not to rag on my nigga Sneako, but Sneako is also smart. Manosphere red pill shit is a dead end. Because there's only so long you can say the same shit, the same time. There's lack of growth in it. I think Sneako now is saying, or I think he's about to, realize that, hey, let me either identify with religion, but preaching to men, get in the gym and get your money up that you can fuck bitches is a dead end. Let me preach a more fulfilling life, which includes family, creating, offspring. And that's what the new thing is. Ironically, as much as that seems new, it's actually not that new. And apparently there's a beef between the ideologies, red pill, and what, say, Sneako is saying. They're calling TradCon. TradCon is traditional conservative, like, it's traditional conservatives or whatever. Like, it's like people with like traditional conservative values, which is like, hey, let's not do abortions. Like, we should be pro-life. We should be, whatever. Because essentially you get to realize red pill ideology seems to be very close with, these bitches is hoes. All these liberal bitches is hoes. Put some clothes on, stop twerking, stop doing OnlyFans, be a traditional woman, right? So this TradCon movement is just kind of taking it a little bit more to, I won't say to the extreme, but putting a different arc around it. It's kind of the same shit, but they're arguing, right? And this is the war that's kicking off. So Sneako, who I believe is trying to follow, and I don't think by like just trying to copy, he's following along an Andrew Tate realm, is now trying to have some meaning to life, and that's where they got into a little argument. So, if you don't know, this bitch-ass nigga, Rooloo Tomassi, he's 59, with a kid and a wife, but he's the one who's the godfather of the red pill. Remember, he got a kid and a wife. He's 59. The motherfucker is telling 20-year-olds. Remember, he hasn't been 20 for 40 years. But he's telling 20-year-olds, oh, just fuck bitches, just fuck bitches. This is how you fuck bitches. This is where I always said red pill seems weak. Remember when me even Fresh got into it? I'm like, yo, bro, you can't tell your audience you're in love? Like, what type of nonsense is this? That doesn't go with the red pill philosophy. You got to be a robot. No, people fall in love, and people do make mistakes. And anytime you have to be subjugated to something that's so fucking hard and narrow, like your iRobot, just not realistic. The 59-year-old dude who's a godfather tweets out a bunch of rules of how men could become, let me see if I can find it, of how men could become high valued in their 20s. Let me see if I could scroll down this bitch and find it. Hold on, I don't know what will be on this page. Let me just, I'm going to show you what he says. Okay. Give me a second. By the way, this dude is like an author who's written this book. And I've always said it's funny how some of the ideologies that they're preaching in the manosphere that essentially came from him, he don't practice. He's married to his wife. He don't say he cheat, but he say he, like, according to his metric, he would be high valued. What he says is if you high value, you're supposed to be able to fuck all type of hoes, and your chick should be able to tolerate it. He's married. You don't hear nothing about him doing that. So what I always say, hypocrite. Not practicing what you preach. Let me find this fucking tweet. Jesus Christ. This nigga got it. Yo, for a nigga who's like 60, this nigga tweets like a motherfucker. Bro, I've been scrolling for 2 minutes. I'm only at May 8th. That's 3 days ago. What in the fuck? Jesus Christ. Hold on. I'm going to find it. Give me a second. Jesus Christ. Okay. Can I find it yet? Jesus, this nigga tweets like a motherfucker. Bro, I'm literally scrolling down. This nigga is tweeting. This nigga is 60 damn near. Tweeting like it's going out of style. I'm only at May 5th. I think it was about a week ago. Holy shit, bro. I might just Google this shit. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. So this nigga tweets out this that caused a stir. And by the way, if you're looking to it, like, let me Google a picture of this guy real quick. Like, no disrespect to y'all who, like, subscribe to all this bullshit, but it's like, my nigga, if you're in your 20s looking towards this nigga to tell you how to be a man and get bitches, brother, you're fucking lost. Like, there's nothing we could do for you. Like, you need a father figure. This is a nigga that they're saying is writing the rules to be a man. This shit is ridiculous. Anyway, you want to hear the rules he writes? Remember, the whole atmosphere is based around how to be a high value man. Cool. Look, the quickest path to be a high value man. Listen to this shit. Do not get married. By the way, remember I was talking about the TradCon people. The TradCon people, they're about pro-life. Let's procreate to create the people and the ideology we desire. So we need to create more and have families. However, this nigga who's 60, he's only, like I told you, Red Pill only stops at teaching guys how to get pussy. So don't get married, right? Because remember, like, yo, women are only just to fuck, right? Don't get married. Avoid family creation. Nigga, what? Don't get married, then avoid family creation. Like, put it like this. Let me tell you this. And I know, because there's a thing, like, I can start a family. You know, at a point when I have my empire, I want to pass it to my son. I don't want my son to pass it to his son. And I hope my last name could be immortal by the mere fact of, hey, listen, you know our great-great-great-great-grandfather, Akademiks, he made the Allen family name a thing. You get what I mean? But this is what this 60-year-old fuck is telling young men to do. Don't start a family. Don't do it. Get a vasectomy in your 20s. Keep in mind, this nigga has a kid and a wife. He's 60. Remember, bro, he's shooting blanks right now. This nigga is shooting blanks. So, of course, when you are in your prime, he's like, nah, cut your shit off. Get a vasectomy. He says, lift consistently. Okay, going to the gym. Shit, I'm going to take that advice. These first three I'm not taking. Well, actually, no, I'll take the first one. I ain't get married either. 2 and 3, bullshit. Eliminate all sedations. Now, I think that's an advice everyone should take. You know what I mean? But it's hard to do. People do have their vices. Learn game. This thing is telling you life goals. Learn how to game women. Yo, the reason why this red pill shit be like a little weird too, again, I'm telling you, it's tailored towards simps and incels. They act like talking to women is fucking the hardest thing possible. It's like cracking a quantum physics equation. It's like, yo, it's like the craziest shit possible. Plays to your strengths, build wealth. I think that's decent. And resist easing up on your focus. Okay. Now again, this went viral a little bit because people cared about the insane shit he was saying. Vasectomy. Don't get married. A 60-year-old nigga with a family was telling other people, don't be like me, yet I'm high value too. So anyway, everybody who's in the manosphere, they just said, okay, well, the Godfather said it, so it must be true. Sneako, because I think he's on an arc that's kind of more Tate-like. He's practicing independent thinking, and this is when this clip happens.
Rollo said something yesterday on Twitter saying that men should get vasectomies in their 20s just to prevent this, which I completely disagree with. I think that it's important to have family values and to prepare for eventual parenthood. But that's the cope that a lot of men have. Like, why raise a family in this scenario? Why risk having a child with somebody who's wanting to build an empire or wanting to be as famous as Rihanna when you could just play it safe and do the snip? But I disagree with him completely. I want to know what you think about that. Rollo, like the Godfather Red Pill, who's pretty much like created a lot of these ideologies, is saying like avoid having a family. I think that's complete cope. Like that's just that's when it becomes a black hole and really kind of black. Like
I think given the marketplace that we're in, it's a reasonable strategy.
Avoid family.
Well, here's the thing. The upsides are great, but the downsides will absolutely demolish you. I mean, you can look at the Tradcons right now that's going through. I mean, look at Stephen Crowder right now, bro. So it's like, and I think that's why so many guys are going abroad, because at least there, like, the women value family more than here. I mean, a lot of the girls here said, I want a family, but if you noticed, like, the things that they're working on isn't necessarily to be a better mom. So I think one or two of you guys mentioned that, but not many of you. Most of you guys were prioritizing your career and your education, your own self-improvement, which is great. That's fantastic, but that's more of a masculine thing. Like, you got to ask yourself, is the guy that you want, is he going to want that back in return? Is he going to want another him? I mean, would you guys, what if I lined up a bunch of dudes here and I said, what are y'all going to do to get the wife of your dreams? And they all said, oh, well, I'm getting manicures. I'm buying really nice designer. I'm getting dressed up really well. I'm doing my eyebrows. I'm getting haircuts every week. would y'all take those guys seriously?
No.
Probably not, right? Because the things they're working.
Okay, I'm gonna try to skip through.
Hell, some of the girls here go up the ranks. Women are gonna.
That's what Eastern European women are doing. So it's not like you can't just put a blanket over all the women here and say give up and cut off your fucking balls from your dick so that you can.
No, I get that. I'm all for families, man. I've always said it. The nuclear family is the backbone of any thrive.
Which, by the way, since my boy Myron, he already has a Muslim background. He's for families. You know what I mean? He's for families and doing the right way. But here's the thing. This is what happens when any type of like genre is created and the nigga who's supposed to uphold the values or give the law or the decrees is saying bullshit. Like this nigga 60 telling y'all to have vasectomies. This thing is wrong. And I think Myron even innately knows like, yo, this nigga's tripping. But, do you challenge him or do you just kind of like let this crazy fucking lunatic who wants to encourage men to get vasectomies just say whatever?
Thriving society. My parents are from the Middle East. They have different culture values. Religion is a thing. Here, religion isn't that big. Feminism is here.
It could be against you and
successful. I mean,
hold on.
Constantly meeting new women. I would say I would just tell.
Really, I'm trying to play Sneako's part because he was just really just challenging. That's
so it really depends on
3 steps: avoid family creation, get a vasectomy, and have a network. It's just like the generic male self-improvement stuff, but like 2 of the top 3: get a vasectomy and avoid family creation. Do you agree?
Did he say avoid? I don't think he said avoid.
Word for word, avoid family creation.
It's on Twitter.
Top 3 steps to become a high-value man.
Okay, I didn't see this tweet. I'll have to take a look at it. But I mean, here's the thing. I think what he means by that is being the most. When he says high-value man, he's talking from the perspective of being able to be a playboy and get as many girls.
But why is that a priority over having a family? Like, why would that even be advice? Why would that be a male self-improvement advice? Be a playboy instead of raise a family. Well, we make fun of women all day for wanting to be girl boss queens and sleep around and have all this, and then you tell guys be a playboy instead of raise a family. That's the same advice on the other side.
Because here's the thing: when you're a playboy, you're going to be better at raising the family, and the reason.
But he's saying avoid family creation.
Well, he's saying to be a high value. He's talking from the frame, knowing Rollo because I know him personally. He's talking from the frame of being a guy getting a lot of girls. And then, if you decide you want to get a family down the road, you can always unsnip and then go ahead and go down the family route. But in today's day and age, I agree to a degree that you need to have sex with at least 50 girls as a guy. I've talked about that all the time. It's controversial. But the reason why I say that is because most women are more promiscuous than most guys. So if you're a dude and you're getting out here and dating girls and you get your pee-pee wet with the first girl, she could sell you a dream and you'll be like, oh, yeah, this is great. So guys got to get out there and be sexually experienced. So he's talking from the frame of being attractive.
I think most guys out here are not going to be able to control their sexual urges. So he's saying
dude,
yeah,
okay.
By the way, Fresh, that's a retarded point, my brother, and I love you. Niggas can't control their urges, so they should have a vasectomy. Brother, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all gotta tell this old geriatric fuck, the nigga who Alzheimer's finna hit. We get you trying to sell some books, nigga, but ain't nobody getting no motherfucking vasectomy. And it just like, again, hearing the whole theory about being a high value man, like it's supposed to be rooted in discipline. Why the fuck are you preaching that, hey, we know you can't control your urges, so just have a vasectomy? Everything else is about discipline, right? Like if you hear any red pill like talking point, like go to the gym, that's all discipline. That's straight discipline. How is it discipline to get in shape and get your body right? But when it comes to sexual urges, fuck it. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Sneako did something very great here. Is that he challenged this red pill ideology on a level that all these women sitting here could never do, because these red pill ideologies are meant to hit bimbos that they don't even have the mental capacity to fucking debate about these type of things. But when somebody who's now getting past the stage of, oh, I'm glad I have a dick that could fuck girls and girls want me, and you build out that theory of what makes me happy other than just being able to have sex when I want, and you start thinking about, okay, family, you start thinking about love, other things like that, you kind of realize that the red pill hasn't matured. And it's interesting that Sneako, who's I think like the youngest nigga in this whole space, is the one who's kind of challenging it. And then I watched this last night a little bit. The nigga who created the whole red pill shit gets the red pill demolished by Destiny Sneako. Like, they both just like gave the nigga a verbal lashing last night. Destiny Sneako, Rooloo. They gave that nigga a verbal lashing. Just listen to this shit.
Now,
This point has passed.
Advice. All I'm doing is saying, hey, look, maybe you should not focus on family. Maybe you should not get married. I mean, I don't know why that's big.
It's maybe advice.
I'm not saying it's advice. What I'm saying is that this is so over the fucking top that everybody wants to take it out of context, which is exactly what you guys have been doing.
So what is it? Can you tell me what that tweet was if it wasn't advice?
It's not advice. What it is it's okay. It's saying that this is the most extreme way to do things. Okay, here's the quickest path to. If I told you this, look, if I said the quickest way for you to make $1 million.
Yo, he's panicking. This dude who created this whole shit wrote a book, panicking to fucking 23-year-old Sneako and a dude with blue hair.
That sounds like advice.
Is to go steal it from the bank or go to steal it. Does that mean I'm telling you to go steal it? If I tell you to go fucking jump off a cliff, are you going to go jump off a cliff? Right, by the way, here's the other thing is I'm also responding to Dr. Richard Reeves in this as well.
Hold on. By the way, here's the thing too. Like, they asked the nigga the very fundamental question, right? Because this whole red pill thing is based on, they don't give advice on regular men to live life. They give advice on regular men to become high value men, and that's how you should live life. Listen to this shit right here. They ask a nigga, what's a high value man? And the nigga don't know what's going on.
You got to love money. You got to be on top of your game. And I love Brandon Carter, by the way. I think
here we go.
Can include sex. I'm just saying the dating process itself, going through the whole motions, you can see who the person really is. That's all I'm saying here.
He said he wants to call in and tell us what he actually meant.
I guess. Here's a novel idea. How about you tell me, let me call in to tell you what I actually meant.
You know what? Let's do it, bro.
Let's go ahead and bring Rollo Tomassi on. Shout out to Rollo. Shout out to you.
Can you hear me okay?
What up, man?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So let me explain a few things here. I wasn't able to do this the last time you guys were talking about this, but so about gosh, is it now 2 weeks ago? I think it was Tuesday of last week. You guys had Brandon Carter on. Is that for himself? He does food for himself. You have a lot of respect for as well, who are buddy's mouth on Instagram throwing you off.
Really genuine.
All right, never mind. I'm trying to figure it. Where is it? Here we go.
Like a retarded, but you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it. That's the point of this conversation.
I'm not too stubborn to walk back from it because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to have this conversation in the first place.
How old are you, bro? Douche nozzles?
Yes. You guys are idiots. Why you guys come in here from Twitch stream? Like, how you guys are legitimate in all of this? I don't know, because
so this guy's new method is saying, yo, I created this whole thing, and how did y'all like weasel yourself into like this manosphere red pill shit that you're questioning me? Because basically he don't know what he's saying, and is at the point like, you know, I know, you know, Myron looks up to this guy, so I know he wouldn't do it like overtly, but Myron's laughing at this nigga. This nigga said douche nozzles. You feel me?
Everything I've heard come out of you guys' mouth is just confident ignorance. That's
No, Myron. Okay, I'm not asking you like in terms of the debate. You call yourself the godfather of the red pill. You
call myself the godfather.
How you get owned by Sneako?
The manosphere, okay? Other people have called me that.
Okay, great. That's very.
Do you understand?
Okay, so as
godfather or grandfather of the man, which one is it?
Whatever it is, the old guy of the manosphere. What is your definition of high value man? This is the
the nigga wrote a whole book on this shit, and they asked him a simple question he'll never answer. Listen to this nigga.
number one talked about topic on all of these shows. So I want to get a clear definition from you. What is it?
You tell again. It depends on the person. It depends on the culture. Depends on the. So here's the thing. Let me tell you. Maybe I can explain this to you, Sneako, because at least you got your ears open here. The thing is that when we're talking about what's the top G, what's a high value guy, you probably haven't heard this because you don't read my stuff and you don't watch my shit. No. But I've also said this is like the red pill has to be for everybody, or it's for nobody. So if we're looking at a guy who's draped across a Lamborghini and he's got hot chicks with him, and we say that's what I'm aspiring to, but I'll never make that because I live in a fishing village on the coast of Chile, right? That means I can never match that high apex of a high value guy.
The guy in the car?
But the guy who happens to live in those villages or happens to be in a different culture or in a different country or whatever else, he can still benefit from that because however he's defining himself as a high value man in his fishing village, maybe that's what he can aspire to.
It has nothing to do with Chile and the village in the car.
By the way, this is another reason why this thing has got owned. Like, I understand the point he's making. He's saying, yo, listen, a high-valued man for, like, living in Miami, right? Like, because maybe you're looking at somebody who has a Bugatti and they got 20 bitches with them. Might be different from somebody in Chile who lives in a rural village. And he's saying that the red pill is an ideology rather than an actual status symbol in the sense of saying you need $1 million because the person in Chile wouldn't have $1 million, but they're living in a different environment. So you could be high valued in Chile and whatever. I completely get that, but that's not what Sneako's asking him. Sneako's saying, brother, just define what the attributes would be, or just define the characteristics of a high valued man. He's gonna just consistently fail to do it.
See, here's the thing: is you guys want me to say, okay, a high value man makes $100,000 a year. He's fucked 50 chicks. He's got that's the thing.
That's not what I want you to say. I disagree with that. I'm asking you because I come on this all the time.
Disagree with it. What I'm saying is the point of the tweet is so you will ask that question.
I'm past the tweet. I'm past that. Look, I'm asking as somebody who's really interested in the red pill. I listen to a lot of this content. I want to know what your definition is, because if you have,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised that. I think obviously Myron was just like mediating, but I'm surprised that Myron and Fresh allowed this to happen, because to me, Sneako and Destiny completely violated this whole this whole thought of red pill is based on none of these things being fumbled over, all these questions being answered immediately, like having ironclad answers. And I just thought Destiny and motherfucking Sneako took this nigga to town. And it's like, after you hear this, you're like, wait. Like, if you were blindly subscribing, you're like, how the fuck am I doing this when the nigga who's supposedly writing the rules don't know what's going on?
Have a definition that's completely off of what I think it is, then I guess I'm not red pill.
Well, here's what I think guys ought to do. Would you like me to give you some prescriptions? Is that what we're trying for here?
No, I want to know your opinion of a high value man. What is it?
I think a high value man is whatever is contextually makes that guy a high value guy in whatever culture that he happens to be in. If that's money, that's money. Right now, that's what we tend to focus on right now. But if I'm going to say that,
high value man is a guy that has the things that makes him a high value man.
All right,
the things that make you a high value man. Okay, what is that? You know, we've been trying to. We're never going to define it.
Just kind of because here's the thing: when I read the tweet, I interpreted it right with a higher step. Like, he's listing things that if you follow these things, right, and you actually follow them, you're probably not going to become a right. And to be a high value guy, I would say it's a combination of things. It's obviously having your money on point, having social proof and status, having respect from your peers, having a network of other high value men, right, which I agree with Kevin Samuels on that, being fit to a degree. If you have all these things in place, you'll be considered a high value man by most people in most societies, right, if you have these things in place. Now, with that said, to get there, right,
Myron is saving the creator of all of this bullshit, man. Yo, Myron, I don't know if you realize, you are the student that have passed the teacher a long time ago. I've seen this nigga on your show. He's babbling. He's like fucking just like, you know what I mean? Like he got to cut the ponytail. Like he's a fish out of water, brother. Like Alzheimer's is kicked in, bro. He's talking about game like in the 1960s, gang. Like you have been Myron, you're the last nigga who been keeping this nigga alive. The moment you say this nigga has not updated his shit, it's over for him. But I gotta say, Myron's a super loyal dude. He's one of the most loyal dudes I've seen. He will never throw his mans under the bus, no matter the fuck what. He rather just like take the L in silence, he will never do it. But he's even trying to save this nigga. This nigga is a fish out of water.
Right? You obviously have to focus and get your shit together and make sure that you focus on getting there. What he's saying is all these, the list of things that he mentioned, if you follow them, it's going to mitigate your risk of becoming a fuck up and not getting to that point as quickly as possible. And I think that's so important is that this tweet kind of gets taken out of context. He's saying the quickest way to become a high value man, avoid and do these things because you're limiting distractions. And he's using Brandon Carter as an example where he's in a monogamous relationship with a girl. He outsourced a lot of his things. Why? So he's able to focus on making more money. He's getting rid of obstacles. And I think that tweet demonstrates that.
Yes.
We're getting rid of obstacles so you can become a high value man in the quickest possible way. Now, I know the most controversial one is the vasectomy. Though there's other ways to get the.
All right, W. Myron. Myron's trying to save him. But Sneako gets back on his ass again.
Yeah, he doesn't do his laundry.
No, but he's taken everything to this extreme level. Like to a lot of guys, Brandon Carter's not a high. Okay, would you agree with me that Brandon Carter is a high value guy?
Sure.
Okay, you know who wouldn't? Ben Shapiro. You know who wouldn't? A lot of other people because they think that they're living out their own high value ideal. Do you understand that?
Context.
Like the 350-pound esports player is living out his ideal of a high value man.
Yeah, whether or not that's working for him is irrelevant to the tweet. When I say, okay, when I'm talking about Brandon Carter, you say you understand that. He's taking it to like this extreme level.
How is Ben Shapiro not a high value guy?
Like stay on top of it. Like his for Brandon Carter, what do you think Brandon Carter's definition of a high value man is?
Probably the same as mine.
Which is
determined by society. If you have respect from your community, then you are a high value person. If people respect you.
So being pro-social and having people like you and depending on the,
I know you don't agree with him because he's Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro is definitely a high value man.
Okay, but
okay, I'm gonna keep
out the obstructions. Are you better off without? Are you better off without the bag?
Everyone here has kind of a different thing. Like me, I've defined it. This is what I think makes you high value. You might have a different take on it. You might, Rollo, you might have a different take on it. I've defined it, and then I took my interpretation off what you said. If you want to get these things, and it makes sense to me, those things that you listed. But I'm seeing here that everyone here kind of has a.
Okay.
I don't think you do.
Red pill shit. Isn't that what you do?
Your
so you
name
should
is
know,
the
like,
rational male.
Yeah.
Through rate for something like that.
What would we say about women? If we say, what is a high value woman?
You tell me, man. It's like again, this is the definition.
Bro, this should be. This is like your wheelhouse. This is your chance to steamroll.
I don't think you understand why wheelhouse is. Quite honestly, I don't think you do.
Red pill shit. Isn't that what you do?
Your
so you
name
should
is
know,
the
like,
rational male.
Yeah, a high value woman is.
I don't talk about high value women, dude. I keep. In fact, if anything, I say there's no such thing as a quality woman because it's an ideal that guys have in their heads.
There's no such thing as a quality woman.
No such thing as a quality woman because guys have this.
Look at Sneako's face. Like, yo, this nigga's nut.
The quality woman is an ideal, but we can talk about that when I get there. But the thing is this is like when you're building a relationship or when you have this idea in your head. You want to know why guys get into so much fucking trouble in their marriages? It's because of that idea.
Hey, I'm gonna give some advice to all these red pill niggas. Y'all got to start debating men. Because y'all got it all packed down ready for when a woman or a feminist, most of the talking points, like anything a feminist says, y'all got it. But I ain't gonna lie, Sneako was fucking this nigga up.
Woman,
that's not even true.
High value woman.
Myron holds his own. This nigga right here is lost.
Disposable sex, that's what.
Slayer.
Con fantasy.
Guys, let me hit these chats real fast.
We got another.
Would you agree with his outlook on women?
With Ben Shapiro's outlook on female?
Anyway, y'all could go indulge in that. That's the homies Fresh and Fit. Sneako, he's pretty dope. I'm glad Sneako's giving some pushback on a lot of things. And by the way, Destiny, I think Destiny is a really good debater. And I think him and Sneako teamed up to like make all of this red pill shit just feel like niggas just making it up on the fly. So homie need to write a part 2 of his book because it's not looking good. Anyway, it's all good. Let's keep this shit going. Yes, this is the spokesperson of men right here. Like he wrote the rules. And I ain't gonna lie, Sneako fucked this nigga up, dog. I kid you not. Oh, someone said go to 9 minutes. Is it here? Right.
They still sell Plan B.
No, but the point is
That is the point. He's able to fuck girls, not have a vasectomy, and still not have kids. It's possible.
What did number 2 say? Avoid family creation. It could be condom or Plan B. But
Oh no, I probably got to go on the Fresh and Fit channel. Shout out to the homies. I haven't been in Miami in a while. But it's my guys.
And
Let's see. I think it's this one. 9 minutes in.
we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Fit Podcast. Women Restored. All right, man. Great to hear that, bro. I appreciate that greatly. When Big At coming back would be cool. Destiny and AK.
That would be great to see.
Dude, I fucking love.
He watches all your.
DJ
He likes
Akademiks.
watching your content
Yeah,
too.
I watch his shit too. That guy's Bro, did you catch the
Rumbler.
shit where he was talking about his? Is it his ex or are they still dating?
Selena Powell.
I don't know.
hell no.
listen, man.
Dude, when he was telling that story,
yeah.
she faked getting an abortion, right? She faked taking a Plan B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they resolved their differences. There's so much drama to this.
Yeah.
And then I think a week later, after they'd figure everything out, she caught him fucking around again. And then she said, I didn't actually get the abortion, motherfucker. I tricked you because I knew you'd do this shit again. Dude, that whole story is the funniest fucking shit.
Yo.
I love DJ Akademiks.
I told him from day one she needs to go. But I get it. There's some love there that can't be shaken or stirred. But
Nice.
I wish him the best,
I love DJ because he's I guess flawed as fuck, but he knows it. He's very
Yeah, he
honest
knows-
about
he knows it, he
He's
knows
yeah,
it.
I fuck around, I fuck up, I do.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like.
Oh, hey, listen. By the way, Destiny, if you ever see that's why I like Sneako. I texted Sneako not only the other day, bro. We're all flawed people. If we purport any type of perfection, like a lot of times I think I give really good advice, but I don't follow my advice all the time because also that's why I keep saying, especially when we talk about how to deal with women, this and third. I'm not one of those guys. I'm a hip hop guy, but I talk about regular life too. I share my regular life. Bro, you're not a robot. Nobody's a robot. And I've, if I wasn't in some of these situations, maybe I would think a little bit more level-headed. But of course, with love and other things involved, it's always what it is. You know what I mean? My thing is I would never purport it to be any way else. And by the way, I've taken my licks, and sometimes I've been lucky to be on the positive side of shit. So it is what it is.
I like the guy. I think it's really
At least he
funny.
owns it. But I mean,
Yeah, he
bro,
does. He owns it
that
hard.
could have been avoided, though.
And new Rumbler. Isn't it pretty surprising? You guys are all in Rumble. The fact that there's no press coverage of that. Jadion's on Rumble. Academics on Rumble. You guys. That's why do they not talk about that? They're talking about Kick all the time. The only streamer on Kick is Aiden, and nonstop they're all obsessed about it. But Rumble's getting so.
All right. Yeah, no, I would definitely I like Destiny. Destiny's I like his debate tactics. I think he does a really good job of balancing every conversation. Him going to Fresh and Fit's always good. I watched a bunch of his debates before. And by the way, I think him and Sneako are a good pair. Because I think Sneako is malleable. I've told him this. I said the best thing about Sneako is that he's malleable. And Sneako is one of the only people that I've had a conversation with, and he's so not stuck in his ways that he'll hear something in that conversation and he'll stop and he'll say, that's interesting. I'm thinking about it. Everybody else, they're set in stone. They don't give a fuck. What you say, they got 39 things, which might be talking points to hit you with. It is what it is. Yeah, I think he's in Miami. When I'm in Miami, my birthday's coming. I might go to Miami or something. Definitely love to fuck with him. All right, bet. Cool. I gave y'all my manosphere. This is not really manosphere. I call everything the manosphere. Really, this is lifestyle and dating. Because of the feminist movement and also some of the movements that are adjacent to it, it's led to people ignoring the needs or the cries out from men in some of the inadequacies they have. Like a lot of men are saying, yo, we don't know how to get girls, or we're not getting girls, or we're invisible to the girl, to the regular girl. And I think that's where the manosphere has actually came in to address those people and address those men's, concerns and be the voice for those men's. That's why I think a lot of people like watching even After Hours. Like there's certain dudes that watch After Hours because they want to see Myron kick someone out. Now Myron's kicking him out for disrespect, but those guys, they feel like they're getting disrespected by a woman personally, so they want to see somebody else disrespect those women. So that's also part of the whole situation. Regardless, yeah, I've given y'all my opinions on that for a good while now. Hey, let's hit some more topics before I get the fuck on out of here. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, I ordered food, which it says DoorDash says 30 minutes. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I got 30 minutes with y'all. Because I got to go eat, my nigga. Maybe I'll come back later tonight for the Schmirkio and Young Boy joint. Oh, Nikki and Kai.